What's up, y'all? It's your boy Steph, back with another reaction. This time we have King Spook, the Landlady, Creepypasta, uploaded September 1st, 2018. It stuck out to me when I went to King Spook's channel. It sounded real interesting, so I'm going to react to it. The description says, you know something? If you've rented a house or apartment before, I'm sure everyone here has some strange stories about landlords. Even the concept is kind of weird. Landlord makes them seem holier than thou. That is a good point, though. Like a landlord, like it just sounds like such a serious title. Down in the description will be a link to King Spook's channel along with the link to this original video so you guys can go listen to it for yourselves without my commentary. Without further ado, let's get into it.
When I was a child, we moved around a lot. It was always a different town, a new house, and a new school. I never really minded, though. My father worked for a company that required us to move with the work, and it always paid well.
Right.
Since I was kind of a loner anyways, having to make new friends never mattered to me.
Right.
I had a hard time making friends anyways, since most kids around my age found me eerie, and most teachers tried not to talk to me unless they needed to.
It'd be like that.
My mom always told me I was gifted and bright, but because I spoke like an adult man instead of a boy and didn't have any real interests in cartoons or the latest kid craze, I was set apart as the strange kid.
You tripping.
Our latest move had us in a small rural town somewhere in the south.
Cartoons, this is what's up.
It was hard to miss my dad's new work location as it was the only thing really in the area. The large cylinders spewed steam into the air and compared to the rural community looked almost high-tech. It was almost sunset as we pulled up the gravel drive to our new home. A nice one-story with green shutters and a nice-sized front porch. According to my dad, it had belonged to the owner's parents and they were willing to rent it to us on the condition we take good care of it. Having lived in some worse-for-wear homes, it was nice to be in one that my dad wouldn't be spending his off days repairing. Things settled into their usual cycle quickly, with my father going off to work and my mom deciding to take up gardening in the abandoned garden out back. This left me with the house for a great portion of the day, and I took the opportunity to examine every nook and cranny of it. And after I got bored of that, I went to the kitchen to make myself lunch. And this is where I met the landlady, Mrs. Brandt. She was a gentle, motherly old lady who always wore a smart floral dress and knitted cardigan. She stood straight and proud with her salt and pepper hair pulled back into a neat bun. She was also never without her pearl earrings and her necklace, which she would occasionally fidget with when she talked, and which she loved to with me and would for hours until my mom called me for bed. Sometimes she would sit quietly and listen to me talk about school. Sometimes she would tell me about her childhood in Germany and her life with her husband in the town. She could go on for hours with stories, and I would sit and listen to her. But after the night of the storm, I never saw her again. It was very late one night, and even though it was my dad's day off, he was frantically throwing on his clothes and jumping in the car to rush to work. I was already in bed, but I could hear my mom in the living room with the TV still on. The wind was howling outside as the rain came at my window like someone had a water hose to it.
Yeah.
I must have dozed off because my mother was shaking me awake frantically, what seemed like moments later. She told me to pull my shoes on and grab all my blankets and run to the basement.
Tornado.
She ran out of the room and into hers as Mrs. Brandt walked in and ushered me through the house and down the stairs. I didn't think anything as to why she was there. I just obeyed as she instructed me to wrap myself in my blankets and press against the wall.
Tornado.
My mom was running down the stairs seconds later with bags and her own blankets, locking the basement door and laying down with me. The tornado that had hit the town tore through our house and neighboring homes in a path that, by a miracle, didn't hit the power plant my dad worked at. After the event, we rented another house in the same town, and my dad's company decided to keep him there as a promotion. So I got to graduate from high school and actually managed to make some friends. It's just now that I've decided to post this before I leave for college. See, at graduation, I met Kathy Brandt's parents. They were the landlords that owned the house I'd lived in when the tornado hit. With Kathy talking to her friends, I asked about the old lady that used to visit me, and with them listening with wide eyes, told them all about Mrs. Brandt. Kathy's mom put a hand on my shoulder and told me about her mother, Gretchen Brandt. Gretchen was, as she told me, a Holocaust survivor and had lived in our house that her husband had built. She had died in the house in her sleep. A year before we came to town.
Fuck that. Hell no. So that was a ghost, huh?
If you made it this far, I hope you'll follow me on Twitter at KingSpookCreepy. Also, if you're feeling generous, I'd appreciate it if you donate even $1 to my Patreon over at patreon.com/kingspook. Every dollar helps. The hope is eventually I'll be able to get enough through Patreon that I can do this full time. Thanks for watching.
Bruh, I've never had a landlady. It's always been a landlord or land male. So, I don't know. I've always had a male as a landlord, so I wouldn't know, but hell no. So, is there like a chance that the ghost woke your mom up because of the tornado and she woke you up because the ghost was running with you? Or however, I'm slightly confused, but then again, I do understand what was happening. No, that's why I always tell people, do very extensive research before you move to an area. Please. It can always help out in the long run. Had this family, did some research prior to moving there, they probably would have known about the ghost and probably could have found a better place to live. Regardless of the father's new job and promotion and whatnot. Could have found a better place to live. I hope they moved after they found out what was going on. If not, they bullshitting. That is it for this video, y'all. If you like my reaction, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. And if you really liked it, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. And tap that bell icon so you will be notified every time I drop new content, which I do on a weekly basis. That is all I got for y'all this time around. Your boy Steph is out.